Top billing.
Top billing to ya. Man, top billing, you guys didn't tell me the fix was in when it came to one Justin Fields versus Tate Martell, the quarterback situation at Ohio State University, the Ohio State University. Because, man, if you look at this picture right here and you see Urban Meyer to Justin Fields' right and Dwayne Haskins to his left, nobody didn't say anything about Tate Martell sitting up there in the background with his Bishop Gorman stuff on. He was looking sad, man. He already knew what time it was. It was obvious that his tweets were a defense mechanism to keep Justin Fields away. But, man, you got to be smart about the situation. If you know the business of college football, college coaches want their hand-picked guys. Tate Martell is not Ryan Day's hand-picked guy. Justin Fields is. And there was undoubtedly he would be the starting quarterback regardless of what goes on in the spring if he were ruled immediately eligible for the Ohio State. But Tate Martell is an extremely talented guy, man. He can push the ball down the field. People questioning his arm strength. I don't see that, and I did not see that when he was in high school. He can work your quick game. Of course, he can work your detach and designer run QB games too. He's just a dynamic player. My first choice will be for him to stay at the Ohio State. But, man, I understand, and he's not going to start over Justin Fields regardless of what. But only Ohio State can have a QB room that looks like that with J.T. Barrett, Tate, Joe Burrow, Dwayne Haskins, and cats like that. So maybe it's time for Ohio State to give up some of its quarterback talent to teams who don't necessarily get to be just like those guys. So one of my choices for him would be LSU, just for the simple fact that, man, you have Joe Burrow there. It'll be his last season. Him and Joe Burrow definitely at one point in time were pretty tight, I would imagine. We see here in some of these pictures. He could learn at the feet of Joe Burrow, being able to get worked in. I doubt he'll be immediately eligible. So if I'm him, you got to pick a team that has a quarterback with 1 year left. That would be the key there. Trying to pick a team and sitting out 1 year and having a young guy there, and suppose that young guy ends up being really good, you will probably have wasted your time transferring. So it's all about sound decision-making. And going to going to LSU will be sound because, man, you get to learn kind of a pro-style attack. Very, very variable, I would think. There's a lot of variations to LSU's attack. They can spread you out. They can constrict you to the middle of the field. They can run out of the gun, out of the pistol. Coach Ensminger does a good job, I believe, with that particular offense. And I think Tate could fit it. Rising redshirt sophomore Miles Brennan will be there, but he was passed over for one Joe Burrow, and I could very well see that happening again because people like shiny new toys. One intriguing school to me is Florida State for the simple fact that DeAndre Francois could be coming back for a senior season, so that would take care of that right there, man, and he will be able to step right in after DeAndre Francois. I think he fits head coach Willie Taggart's offense that will now be coordinated by one Kendall Browse. I think he fits it to a T. I think he can do really big things at Florida State, and this is a proud school, man, with a lot of tradition that had cats sitting up there in blowouts with the shirts off looking all crazy. But the Taggart Browse offense, I think, fit Tate Martell pretty good, man. You'll see a lot of 11 personnel, tons of numbers, splits. I think he can push the ball down the field. They want to get that, but they do a lot of the screen game, a lot of the quick game, and they love to detach, at least when he was at Oregon in that previous stops like South Florida. FSU is absolutely loaded when it comes to targets like Tamorian Terry and running back Cam Akers, but the offensive line is kind of suspect or way suspect, but Tate Martell has some serious wheels and will be able to get himself out of trouble more times than not. I think my favorite place for him, though, is the Arizona Wildcats, who have Khalil Tate, who will be coming back for his senior season, I believe. He could transfer, is what I heard, but, man, more than likely he'll be back. He had a pretty decent year when it all was said and done. But I like this for the simple fact that this is the team, the coaching staff, at least Kevin Sumlin, the head coach, that Tate Martell was originally committed to, and that made Johnny Manziel, who I think Tate Martell reminds me of. People keep talking about Baker Mayfield because he's recent, but Tate plays more like a Johnny Manziel. And he would get to play under Noel Mazzoni, who was the original coach he committed to when it looked like he was going to Texas A&M. I think that would be a perfect fit. We see Khalil Tate right here, man, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and that was in what people said a down year. The completion percentage was a little bit down, but I think he'll be a little bit better. But I think Tate Martell will absolutely kill it with his ability. I think he may be a little bit better of a passer, at least in my estimation, than Khalil Tate. And you know what those guys do, man. Spread it out, run that bad boy, based around the run, being able to push the ball past the numbers and push it upfield too. Tate Martell, man, could work out a number of situations. I know originally when it came out, Miami was thought to be a destination, which I'm not totally against, especially now they have my man Dan Enos, the quarterback's coach from Alabama, formerly the offensive coordinator at Arkansas. I think Tate can do some things in his offense. But, man, they have some young guys that will undoubtedly have to play this year because the senior exhausted his eligibility. So if one of those guys hit, you will have wasted your time. West Virginia was thought to be that too. I can't really say anything about his quarterback situation, but I do know Will Grier has graduated. So that means somebody would get a year ahead of him. However, if that person is a senior, then that wouldn't be a bad spot either with the new coach there. But, man, a lot of options for this guy, man. I think he's a talented kid. I feel him. He definitely wasn't going to have a shot to beat out Justin Fields no matter what. No matter what he did, man. That's just the business of college football. And if you've been around coaches and been around recruiting, you know that to be the truth. These guys get promised things. And think about it. Justin Fields could have gone anywhere, and he picked Ohio State. That ain't by happenstance. But I'm your boy Murf, the Underground King, top billing sports. Tell your boy which team you believe Tate Martell should go to, all right? Let me know in the comments section. But until then, peace.
What more can I say?
Top billing.